Gabe Rosado feels that Devin Haney picking Jose Ramirez is the wrong choice. In this video, I'm going to break down what he said in a brand new interview and give some of my thoughts. He kind of questions Devin's mentality going into the rematch, and we're going to see shortly what it is and what it ain't. So, in a brand new interview with Fight Hub, Gabe Rosado exclusively gave his thoughts, and he says, quote, "I think Haney is the better fighter on paper, but Ramirez is the wrong choice to come back. I feel like Ramirez is powerful, he's strong, and he's coming off that Barbosa fight. He didn't look horrible, and he didn't get beat bad." So basically what Gabe Rosado is saying is that although he lost to Arnold Barbosa, it wasn't like he got mollywopped and like just ragdolled and destroyed. It's not like he got destroyed. So he feels that going forward into the Haney fight, that he can make the proper adjustments, given the fact that he was beaten, but he wasn't beat up. And there's a difference. All losses are not made equal in boxing. We know that, because there's sometimes where a guy will lose on paper, but the public feels that the guy truly won, the judges didn't, and it's politics. You know what I mean? So that can't be counted the same as when a fighter gets sparked out or knocked out or loses every round. You know, it's not, these aren't the same thing. Gabe Rosado continues by saying, quote, "I believe that the Barbosa fight was a perfect style for him to reassess what he did wrong and make adjustments going into the fight with Haney. I think he has to make adjustments, and then we got to see where Haney's mind is at and if his confidence is even there. Because it's one thing to look good and ripped, but where is your confidence? I've never been hurt as bad as Devin Haney has, but I can only imagine what it does to the fighter's confidence." He also goes on to say that he had a damaged orbital in one of his fights, and he said his very next fight, he said he was worried about it, you know, and he was thinking about like, I hope this doesn't happen again type of deal, right? Finally, Rosado says, "So Haney has the ability to show us he's a special fighter, so this is the opportunity to show us that I'm that dude. So if he does that, my hat's off to him." Now, you got to respect what Gabe Rosado is saying as a man. I respect it. See, the problem with boxing is a passion sport. So you got a lot of guys who are just passionate, and they don't care if it makes sense. They don't care if there's a logic or rationale behind it. It's this immense favoritism that is shown to certain guys and whatnot, and that's just how they act, you know. And some people in boxing, no matter how strong your argument, you can't tell them otherwise. They'll just be like, "Nah, you're tripping. Canelo all day." You know what I mean? Like, even if you have a solid argument about why Floyd Mayweather is going to beat him, if you have a diehard Canelo fan, some of these fans are so radical where there's no telling them nothing until the fight happens and you see what Floyd Mayweather did to Canelo Alvarez or whoever else, right? And that's the reality of it. So the problem with boxing is it being a passion sport. You have people who passionately like side with a particular fighter to the point of it's not even realistic anymore. Like, this fighter, I'm such a fanboy, this fighter can do no wrong. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe that any fighter is above criticism or credit. You know, if a fighter, like, there's things, let's say Shakur Stevenson. I've criticized Shakur Stevenson. He deserves criticism in certain regards, right? But some of what people are saying and putting out about Shakur Stevenson is also BS, and he deserves praise in this regard. And it's that balance that I give the game. You know, people, they always say, it's funny to me because I'm the most in terms of longevity, y'all know that's there. I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. And when it comes to realistic breakdown where I don't like lean to one side or whatever, I'm super fair. Like I give like people, let's say Terrence Crawford. Some people say, oh, you're out to get Terrence Crawford. You never say anything good about him. I say almost every time I mention Terrence Crawford, he's a hell of a fighter. He's a phenomenal, skilled fighter, right? But because I have criticisms for Terrence Crawford or this fighter or that fighter, people, they just want to lump it up into one and say, oh, you hate this fighter, right? I don't hate any fighter. Why would I hate these fighters? They entertain me, and them fighting allows for me to report on it, make money, and made a whole career out of doing it, and not go back and work a 9-to-5 by covering boxing. So why would I hate any of these guys? You know what I mean? It's not even that serious. And that's what we're talking about here when it comes to Devin Haney. Devin Haney, the people who are Haneyacks, they're not even going to be realistic. So what Gabe Rosado is saying, they'll say that Gabe Rosado is hating. Gabe Rosado is, they'll start bad mouthing him, saying, oh, you got stopped by Triple G and stuff like that. What does that got to do? An old fight like that, what does that have to do with where he's at now? What does that have to do with what he's saying? And this is the problem and the fluke in the game of boxing is people are so radical and passionate and fanboys that they can't even listen to what people are saying without getting in their feelings. They get in their feels and emotional. Gabe Rosado, he's telling you exactly what I've been telling you about. We have to see how his confidence looks. You know, that is a major thing coming off of that type of performance. This ain't like a Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman loss or Sean Porter versus Errol Spence, where these were close fights and good fights, competitive fights, right? And Sean Porter just happened to lose those fights. This was a demo job. As soon as Ryan let his hands go, any round he was letting his hands go, he was hurting Devin Haney, right? And I don't even think it was the 100% Ryan. I think it was a Ryan who was half-assing it. I think it was a Ryan who was playing games and mentally wasn't in the headspace of a elite fighter, we'll say. So yeah, there are going to be questions. And it's funny because boxers like Devin or whoever, they get mad. You're a pro athlete. You are supposed to be doubted. If you fail immensely, yeah, you're going to be doubted. It's like when Kobe threw air ball. But like Rosado was saying, you have an opportunity to show us that I'm resilient or I'm put together or I'm mentally this strong and this good where I can act like that fight didn't exist and wash it from my memory. Show us. That's it. You don't have to flex and do muscle pictures. I've already made a video about it. Doing all the muscle pictures is, for me, it's not convincing. Like, it's like Devin keeps showing that he's in shape and posting pictures. And my thing is this. I judge a person when you've watched somebody's whole career, you got to judge if he always was like this, then that's one thing. But the point is, after the Ryan fight, when people are doubting him, that's when I've noticed an uptick of shirtless muscle pictures from Devin Haney, right? There's no other camp where I recall all these pictures coming out of him flexing and, you know, the pictures are edited. So the sharpening is enhanced and stuff. So his cuts look more, you know, pronounced. So it's really like you're trying to rebuttal what the maddening crowd is saying and all the doubts you're trying to show, like, look at me, I'm in shape. And I don't think that's the right attitude, because when the lights are on and the camera's on and you in that square circle with Ramirez, none of that muscle pictures and stuff matter. You're going to have to show what it is and, you know, that you're another level than Ramirez. And I can't wait. I can't wait till May 2nd or whatever to see what it's going to be. But for me, it's going to take more than pictures. You lost it. Your brand took a hit in the ring. So the only way to get it back is in the ring.